Thank you, Javon. In tonight's regional news, Arnold Joseph, one of Haiti's most dangerous and wanted fugitives and alleged gang leader, was found and captured while awaiting surgery for his wounded leg, according to the National Police Chief Michel Gideon. The leg was wounded during a firefight with rival gang leader Tissorit Arnel. The police had been tracking him for months and suspected he was hiding out in the lush seaside of the Artibonite in the agricultural region of the country. In 2011, the 20-something-year-old Arnold had been arrested and sentenced to 6 years in jail for the murder of several policemen, but was subsequently released in May of 2017. It isn't clear how his sentence was determined. Arnold is accused of terrorizing residents of the village Disdio slum and robbing trucks loaded with merchandise, raping, kidnapping, and attacking motorists on the National Highway No. 1, which links the capital and cities to the north. Arnold expressed a willingness to turn himself in if the government met his conditions of finishing potable water projects, building roads, boosting agriculture, and providing electricity to the population. Turning now to Trinidad, the body of one of the 7 fishermen thrown overboard in the Gulf of Paria on Monday night has been found. However, the identity of the body has not yet been disclosed. It was discovered at daybreak on the coastline in Brickfield, a fishing village south of Carly Bay. Relatives of the missing have gone to the scene. Shortly before midnight on Monday, pirates attacked at least 6 fishing vessels in the Gulf of Paria off the ports of Carly Bay and Orange Valley. The pirates, who were said to be locals, held up the fishermen with guns and robbed them of their boats and engines before throwing them overboard. Several were able to swim ashore. To date, 7 could not be found. The missing were identified as Anand Rampersan, Shiva Ari Ramdio, Brandon Kisoon, Jason Trevor Baptiste, Justin Kisoon, Hemraj Alex Suknanan, and Leslie Dubali. The 3 men who made it ashore have been identified as Brian Seamangle, Robbie Jaggernaut, and Dylan Mendoza. 2 of the fishing boats were found drifting at sea yesterday. Still in Trinidad, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has instructed National Security Minister Stuart Young to deport Venezuelan nationals who have not registered with the government. In issuing the instruction, the Prime Minister recalled that 250 Venezuelans have taken legal action against the state for the opportunity to register and, according to their attorney, want the government to issue them with registration cards within 28 days so they can work locally. The government gave ample notice and information as to the 2-week registration process carried out from May 31 to June 14, Rowley said. Those who did not seize the opportunity to register didn't want to be here, he added. Rowley was adamant Trinidad and Tobago has dealt with an influx of Venezuelans fleeing economic and social turmoil in the best way it could and has done better than some other countries facing the same issue. However, he said the government will not bow to pressure to open refugee camps locally as these sites are not easily closed. The volume of people a refugee camp could bring to TNT would be a threat to the small country, Rowley said. Rowley warned against being forced to accept people declaring themselves to be refugees when they are economic migrants seeking a better cup of food. And finally, at least 2 Caribbean Community CARICOM countries have responded to a warning by the Trinidad-based Caribbean Public Health Agency that regional countries should seek to enhance disease surveillance at ports of entry and at health facilities following the categorization of the current outbreak of the Ebola virus disease as a public health emergency. St. Lucia and Barbados have both indicated that steps are being taken to ensure that their populations are not put at risk for the disease that the World Health Organization has declared a public health emergency of international concern. In response to the World Health Organization's WHO declaration of the Ebola virus outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo as a public health emergency of national concern, the Ministries of Health and Wellness has activated its National Ebola Virus Disease Response Plan. In a release yesterday, the ministry said the response plan developed in 2014 is being activated to increase awareness, educate stakeholders, and prepare the country for any eventualities. And that's all for tonight's edition of Regional News. Back to you, Javon.